Right. So they tried to stop me, but sounds like I'm a little too loud in the headphones. But so we are back. You are tuned back in with me. We are just sitting here talking about the truth about divine alignment is the plan. So we're going to wait to get a few people in here and get this thing set up. Of course, this is my first day using this new software, so I don't even know how to get everything. Oh, there goes the chat. Get the chat. Let's see if the chat will show up with everybody. Like I am live on both YouTube and TikTok. We are good to go, man. I'll see if we can. Where would I see people come in? I have no idea, but we definitely are. Here we go. We are in there. Got that together. Looks like I can put music through here, but without any further ado, I guess I'll do the talking after the thing because it's a test of the equipment and of the whole run. So I want to welcome you back to my channels. You're tuned into Truth J. This is where purpose meets power and alignment, it meets action. So let's tap into today's truth to help you rise. So have you ever found yourself running tirelessly towards your dreams only to feel like that they're always just out of reach? So the real secret to manifesting your deepest desires, it isn't relentless hustle. It's something far more subtle, but way more powerful. It's when you align your intentions with your thoughts, speech, and action. Imagine waking up each morning with an unwavering sense of purpose, knowing exactly where you're headed and why you want to go there. See, picture a life where your intentions effortlessly sync with your reality, where opportunities flow naturally and synchronicities they appear as magic. See, this is the essence of divine alignment. It's a profound journey, yet it's very practical. It's just intention intertwined with your intuitive guidance, and this creates powerful manifestations. These manifestations and these synchronicities, they allow you to continue to grow and experience them. I mean, when I think about my own experiences, right? So my own experience has led me to experience synchronicities every single day. I mean, all the time. It was almost when it started, and I guess it's been more than a year or so since every day is filled with them. Um, I remember at first it was really strange, and then I would call it crazy, and then I called it funny. But now it's just like if it was a it happens so much that it's that I know that I'm moving in alignment, I'm moving in flow. Everything is always in sync with what I'm saying, with what I'm thinking. We're manifesting naturally. um we not It's almost, you want to say, accidentally, because it's just happens. And so you have to ask yourself, the very crucial question: are you truly aligned, or are you forcing it? Are you pushing against the currents of your life? Are you exhausting yourself in the process that's supposed to be enjoyable, built for the building up experiences, which is our life? Our life is made up of the experiences that we get to enjoy. How how much of those experiences are naturally enjoyable for you because you were doing what you knew you were supposed to do, what you enjoy doing, and going with the flow and everything, the people you needed to meet, the thing that you needed to happen, everything just being right there before you, where you're not for it, you're just okay. This is what I need, and you trust that what you need is going to show up, and it does almost almost instantly. It's almost magic. I don't like the word magic because it has a negative connotation, but it's very much like magic when you experience the alignment that's available for you when you allow yourself to live authentically. Let me not get too far ahead of myself. So before a seed can sprout, right, the soil must first be fertile. That's why in the parable of sower, you know, it can fall on good ground and produce a hundredfold, but it can fall on hard ground, stony ground, and it might not produce the harvest. So it's the same way for you. Like before your dreams can actually manifest, alignment with your thoughts, your actions must be. But you must first have that intention, and that must precede all the action that you might take, because alignment isn't about passive waiting. It's not even wishful thinking. It's positive thinking. It's about tuning ourselves to the frequency of our highest potential, of our highest desires, of our power, our purpose, everything that we came into this world with, remembering who we are, remembering what we came to do, and aligning our compass, our internal compass, to point us there where we move there with clarity that's needed to help us accomplish our purpose. See, the reason why manifestation appears easily in our lives, my wife and I, is because we're clear about what it is that we enjoy, clear about where it is that we're going, what it like down the road, because we're clear about our desires. We're not trying to figure out exactly how we're going to get there. We don't worry about those things. We live in the now, in the eternal now. So when this happens and your manifestations appear with ease in your life, you will no longer have to chase after your dreams. You will attract them as if by divine orchestration. Who it is. So divine alignment, it rests on these three crucial pivots, or axes, I should say. The spirit. The spirit is what connects us with our higher self. It what connects us to the divine entity that we actually are. See, our spirit, or what people call our higher self, this is your true essence. It is it's away from thinking that you're your thoughts, or away from thinking that you're your body, but recognizing yourself as the observer, beyond all of the noise, beyond the ego, beyond those ego driven desires where you're always just moving the goalpost on yourself, or always seeing yourself as not of enough. So the spirit, there's mind. See, mind, this is where you cultivate the clarity and the coherence in your thoughts to be able to move with intention. So once you recognize that you are a powerful, creative, spiritual being, and that you have power, and that you're attached to the infinite mind, you begin to cultivate clarity and coherence so that you can move with intention. And so, with this coherent thought process, it's going to empower you rather than sabotage you, and therefore, it's going to empower your intentions rather than to sabotage your intentions. See, you you're going to embody this spiritual integration and mental alignment by participating in thinking accurately, knowing where it is that you want to go, and trusting that you're aligned, moving in that way, and you allow the flow. Stop trying to concern yourself with trying to fit in. So one of the main things that prevent people from their divine alignment is caring too much what people think about them or seeking approval. See, seeking approval will prevent you from actually getting that full integration with your spiritual self and your the mental clarity that's available to you when you move with intention. See, because you're no longer limited by the physical illusions that surround us. And you're no longer constrained by your negative habits that used to distract you or eat up all your time. But you now have these powerful daily rituals that move you along because you know exactly what it is that you're here to do and why it is that you want to do it. And this spirit mind coherence, each one of these will support the each other, create a consistent system, a balanced system where manifestation, it isn't forced. It happens naturally, organically, and it is deeply resonant with who it is that you were created to be. See, alignment is not a one-time event. It's something we work on day to day. It's the journey of our life. It's an ongoing practice. It's a daily calibration where we move from elevation to elevation and gain more enlightenment and more clarity. And we're able to do things more naturally. And we realize that the things we once thought were important, they're not as important as we thought they were. So let's just look at three simple transformative practices that will help you to deepen your alignment. So, like I say in almost every video, there's an importance in being still. And you want to do this in the morning as quickly as you can, whatever process you need to do. You want to begin each morning with just a few minutes of silence where you just don't think about the what you have to do, don't think about what you did, just spend time observing your inner thoughts and allow your intuition to speak to you. Let go of all of the external noise and tune into that inner wisdom that's within you. And you want to do this in the morning. And you want to focus on your breath throughout the day, continuously, always, as often as you can. Anchor yourself in your breath, and it brings you back to the present moment. In the breath is happening in the present moment. And when you're focused on your breath, you anchor yourself and you align through conscious breathing. You will regulate your nervous system and you will enhance clarity. And this your intuitive guidance will reignite and it will help you to move with clarity. So let each breath throughout your day reconnect you to your center and develop micro affirmations. Like have your affirmations, but also have like a song tune that you can sing to yourself throughout your day to remind you of your affirmations. And silently repeat these in your head or speak them out loud. Or if like I said, if it's a tune or a song, you be like, I am aligned and awakened, whatever the song is, I have When I Rise and Align. And I sing that song in my head, and I sing it in my head as often as I remember to. And I have a few songs that I listen to, and I do that for helping me to remember and remind me what it is I'm doing, helping me to keep my path clear. You could tell yourself, you could say, I am on a clear path moving with clarity and intention. I am on a clear path moving with clarity and intention. And in subtly, this will reinforce your alignment. And these all of these steps, they help you to integrate and recalibrate daily, helping you to realize that you are powerful and help you to move consistently and shift and move your reality in ways that I haven't even figured out how to put into words yet, except for unimaginable and beyond anything that can be written or storybooked. Life is beyond anything that can be storybooked. It's literally miracles every single day. Synchronicities I couldn't even imagine. Things we joke about it, but like we say random things. Like I think my wife was like, you need to say, say we're gonna win $500 million. And I was like, but and we do it, and I truly believe it's going to happen. But you have to also understand that the alignment of putting myself and creating the life, doing the things, taking the actions, being the places, doing the things necessary to allow it to be able to flow to me. Also, see, with opportunity comes responsibility to take action. See, an opportunity doesn't necessarily guarantee the result. No, the opportunity gives you the opportunity. It gives you the if you make the choice and decision and you move through with resilience and don't let it beat you up, and you keep on moving, and then you can accomplish the result. But the opportunity is not the result. The opportunity is just the opportunity. I have to continue to move forward, trusting that as long as I'm moving forward and as long as I'm doing the things that I know that need to be done. And what is this? What do people that earn $12 million a week? What does their lifestyle look like? Well, do these things. What is somebody who is running these type of organizations, running these types of schools, helping people to heal the way that we're going to help people heal? What does that look like? Okay, start implementing this into my life. And so finding time to do this, which is the reason we now moved it to lunchtime, and we're going to be doing these lives from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern. This is the whole idea. What does that look like? And when you know your reality that you're creating for yourself, then you can see it and you move freely, knowing that your intentions, your thoughts, your actions, your words are moving you towards that way. Like think about this girl named Sarah, right? Like she's an entrepreneur, but she's overwhelmed because her life, anybody who's an entrepreneur, if you're an entrepreneur, then especially before you have a team and things like life can be very much overwhelming. There's so many different pieces and parts moving, and things can get away from you, and can just get out of just can seem hectic. But by simply just taking some advice that I had given her to adopt the 5 minutes in the morning, that daily stillness, allowing her intuition to guide her, and then practicing the breath work and the micro affirmations, her anxiety lowered. She was able to move with more clarity. Not that stuff didn't happen, but just she was able to resolve things and see the strategies and see and learn the lessons more quickly because she became sharper. See that when you do these mindfulness practices and you're aligned with who you were created to be, recognizing your power, operating in your talents, and gaining the skills to be able to serve your community, serve your household, serve those around you, s- help to create an embetterment of society through being you and doing the things that you do. See, these micro shifts, they changed her entire life and brought peace. And see, it's not about escaping the things that happen. It's about learning to navigate them with purpose, intention, resilience, and fortitude, and allowing yourself to do the things that you do. And from what I understand, she said that she was able to three times or even four times her business. And that's amazing, just from becoming intentional, just from deepening her relationship with herself by spending some quality time with herself in the morning. These small practices are profound, And anyone that's done it can tell you the results are profound. You can go right now on whether you're watching me on TikTok or YouTube, and you can see, you can look it up, how mindfulness activities have transformed people's lives, and how moving with intention can transform your life. But remember, like, it's your life. You have to become authentic. You have to spend time knowing, becoming more aware of who you are, because the greatest creations that you will create, they they don't depend on more force or more effort. They depend on you becoming more aligned, more aware, and deeply aligning, deeply recognizing that you're whole, perfect, and complete just the way you are. You don't need other people's approval. You need to trust yourself. You need to love yourself. You need to give yourself the the relationship, the time, so that you know what it is that you enjoy doing, and trust yourself. And if you're ready to align with your inner compass, and you're truly ready to unlock your true potential, and if this resonates with you, I have a school community that I'm getting ready to start. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to subscribe to my channel. We're going to be giving you everything it is that you need. Follow me if you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you're on TikTok, follow. I'm going to be doing the weekly lessons coming up over these next 30 days. We're going to be just testing, getting used to coming here at lunchtime, so that when we do bring the all of the materials, when I bring the Thrive with Purpose course to you all, I make sure that I'm able and I'm used to showing up here doing this. My life consists of various different things, and doing this at lunchtime is going to be way better for us. Obviously, I'm not tired at the end of the day, right when I normally would be in the bed like 9 p.m. And so make sure you're checking it out. And remember, I got plenty of books now in the shop. I got awesome um, merch over there. We got some hoodies, we got some sweaters, we got some beanies. So I'll be having them on as soon as mine come in. Of course, those beanies are embroidered. They're really fancy. They say divine. It's you are divine. You are a powerful, creative, spiritual being, and that's me saying you are divine in a long way. And I really appreciate everybody that showed up. If anybody watched us, it looks like I've only been here like 22 minutes. But remember, life is a journey. Life is about growing and doing more and being more and achieving everything it is that's available to you to be able to achieve. But live your life with intention. Like, move forward towards a life that's designed. Don't live your life on the whim, hoping something will happen. Create the life that you want to create. Um, that's really the end of the teaching for today. But I think I'm just going to see what the results are, if I can see if anybody here release the videos. You can support my stream. You can buy me a coffee. I don't know. I forgot I had that. That's pretty cool. But so back to so when I think about this stuff, right? I obviously only been out here 25 minutes, so I'm gonna talk for a while about various different things. Who knows? I might. So the significance of this day, I guess this being the new day one, right? The day one of the journey that I'm on, to be able to learn to do social media. So I'm not really a social media person in general. So as somebody who wasn't really a social media person, it made it kind of difficult to be able to um, just start doing it daily. It wasn't part of my daily practice already. And I'm not trying to make excuses, but it requires a true commitment when you want to do social media as part of your business implementation. And and so I thought, I was like, well, I'll just jump out there and do it. But obviously that didn't work. But here we are again, the next day one. And I really wish that there was a way I could see these chats. Because since I think I've accomplished a lot, made a lot of bad decisions when I was younger too. Yeah, that's for sure, man. I now we got this chat up. Maybe I could get some people to to come in here. Let me do a check. I never even checked to see if I was up on live. Oh, I am. And then and in reality, you know that we continue to grow, we continue to build, we continue to achieve the things that we see up there. But no, that doesn't pop up on the stream. All right. And all right. So yeah. So what we learn is that in divine alignment, um, it's it makes life full of peace, full of enjoyment, full of so much more than what we could imagine. Right. We could appreciate HUIBM, man. IBM will always be coming through to come through, man. So I just got TikTok over here, so I was like, let me take a look over here. What's going on? H- So yeah, so the more we think about it, the more we move forward, and the more we're able to create the type of life that we want and sync our lives with the universe powers that are already in act. So what happens? Many of us we try to create against outside of what's already in the flow. And I'm not saying that that's not possible, but what happens is you can learn to flow with where it is that you're going, and learn to integrate into the life what it is that you want to experience. So the truth of it is that many people will never um even give thought that they want to improve their life, right? Improve your life for what? The way many people see it is why would I need, my life's good. My life, I'm good. I'm surviving. I'm getting through. I'm from day to day. I'm living from week to week, from day to day, from month to month. Where it is that their level of mediocrity or comfortability is, right? The you give me some drink real quick. So the the truth is, you know, I I know that the peace and joy is available for everybody, but I know that many of us will live stressful lives for various reasons unnecessarily, simply because we're choosing to. We're waking up in the morning and creating a more stressful environment at a time when our cortisol levels are already kind of raised. So you wake up in the morning with your cortisol levels already raised, and then you begin to think negatively, and you create an anxious day, and you're reinforcing this anxiety with worry and with fear, and you're doing this from day to day. And these things, this cortisol is it's almost addictive. I hate to say that's addictive, but it is one of those things that you become comfortable with, and you start to need almost, because it's a chemical, and your body does develop this chemical. reliability or expectation. Let's say that your body develops an expectation for that chemical, and we get caught up in this flow of these negative atmospheres that we develop for ourselves. And these negative atmospheres that we develop for ourselves are reinforced through our thoughts, our actions, and our words. And we're continually thinking that this is the way that it is. And it's not the way it is. It's just what we're creating for ourselves. We can recreate beginning with right now. You can take the time to determine what it is that you want to create, the type of life that you would like to live, and figure out, what things do I need to set up at night, 30 minutes before I go to bed, so that I can go to bed thinking about the things and create a lifestyle that I want to think about. So I want a short paragraph of maybe 3 or 4 sentences that I could read before bed to get the type of mindset for the life that I want to create. And then you want to read that before bed, and you want to have no other distractions, none of the negativity, none of those other things that are going on before you go to bed, right? And you want to change your routine before bed, and then in the morning change your morning routine and review the thing again, and be grateful for the new life that you're experiencing, and be grateful for all of the good things that you're going on in life. And if you can't think of one, remember that you just woke up. That's the first thing you could be grateful for. And if your eyes work and you're still breathing, and you can still feel your hands, arms, legs, whatever. Just start being grateful for things. If you woke up inside of a bed, on a bed, or in a house, or in a room, or you weren't outside, so there's plenty of things to be grateful for when we wake up. And then you want to begin to practice being grateful throughout the day. Remember, there's these opportunities, everything that you're grateful for in the morning, that stuff is still available to be grateful for later on in the day, right? And so you can always just focus on being you, being better, being loving, being strong, being more, becoming who it is you want to be. Because the things that we're going to walk through here are we're going to help people, we're going to help you, the viewers. We're going to help you, the viewers, develop a definiteness of purpose, right? We're going to help you to develop a synchronicity or a congruence where you can walk and live with integrity. Because living with integrity is what divine alignment is all about. Being who you say you are, saying who you think you are, and letting all of three of those things be what people see and hear. Like what you say do need to align with what people think and what you think. And when those things are in sync with what you're thinking, what you're speaking, are in alignment with what you're doing, then you're in sync and you're in alignment. But if you're not in alignment, then these things are not in sync. You're thinking one thing and you're doing another, right? You're telling people that you're about this, but you're really about something totally different. Like, why is that the way that it is? Like, don't let that. It's okay. I'm not saying that you don't evolve. I'm saying that you don't grow. I'm not saying that you don't become more and learn and outgrow from stage to stage. But the next stage be an elevation from where you actually just were. Don't allow yourself to slide back and move back into the deceptions and the negative habits that you've already been freed from, that you've already broke away from. Those lies that you once believed. Don't fall back into those same lies. Don't fall back into the same just self-destructive behavior and what you've been delivered from. See, like that's what happens. We get delivered, and then we decide that, okay, we want to get back into it. Don't let that be the way. And it's not the way. It's actually very common, but it's very dark. It's dark just to be mediocre in general. Mediocrity is dark. And if you're comfortable with mediocrity, then you're comfortable with darkness, because excellence is light. You know what I'm saying? Light is excellence and dark is mediocrity. And each day we choose whether we're going to move towards the light, or if we're going to be moved towards the darkness. And each day we're 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 balancing them, because we're in a dark world. We're light beings in a dark world. And so learning to integrate and learning to distinguish those differences and the different realities of that we all deal with. We the the the, the ethereal realm is and filled with thoughts. And so those thoughts that we're all bombarded with continuously, just from being alive, right? Being conscious, the mind, being attached to the eternal mind, and being a subsect version of the mind, because all is mind, all is consciousness, all everything that we are and everything that we experience is all conscious. It's I don't want to get into that's not what we're here to talk about. I said we were talking about divine alignment 101. Obviously that only took about 20 minutes, because it's a very short teaching. And I'm wondering if I'm on YouTube and TikTok. Should I simply teach it again? Because the people that on TikTok, they come and they go. And really, if you don't know who I am, I'm Truth J Blue. I've spent the last 15 years really figuring out what it is that existence is all about. And I've studied existence. I studied psychology, and then I spent 10 years in Christian ministry, and I've read a lot of books, a lot of nonfiction, self-help, psychology, and different books. And this doesn't really mean anything. I have certificates and degrees and all of these different think classes I've taken, and just really just to understand that we are powerful, creative, spiritual beings, and the power, it it rests inside of our intention. And if we're moving forward with intention, if our words and our thoughts and our actions are aligned, the more that we can align and move forward with intention, getting our energy, because we are energy. And if we could get that momentum, um that inertia, you could get that energy moving forward, that inertia moving forward, then you can achieve so much and be able to experience so much more of what's available to you, right? There's a lot available, um that that because of the uniqueness of each individual, it would be hard for me I would be hard pressed to try to subcategorize or to marginalize people's purpose, right? What I do say is that there are people's purposes there are competitors. Like, there's people who are competitors and athletes and warriors, and that is their purpose. That's what they're here. That's their service. Those are their talents, their gifts. Just like there are people that are good with their hands, people that are good with their mind. There's people that are good with their bodies, people good with their words, people good, like people that are good with so many different things, that we have so many talents, that I'll be hard pressed to really try to marginalize or to subcategorize. I think the book did a good job. Maybe next time, I believe it's in Romans. I want to say it's either in 12, at the end of 12, like that latter end of Romans chapter 12, where he gets into the different purposes. And it's a couple other places. I think it's on Second Corinthians. But when you think about those, they're just categories, because your purpose, not only is it attached to your talents and your desires, but it's also, it evolves with you. The What you're doing is not evolving, but who is affecting and how you're effectuating it, that evolves. and the level that we operate at evolves, and we become more in sync and more aligned. And when you're aligned in sync, and synchronicities are consistent, then it's no longer something you're it's just what happens. It happens everywhere I go, everywhere I am, no matter what it is that I'm doing. If I run into somebody, it happens. It has it can happen. It has an opportunity. If I'm never not working. I'm never not doing what it is that I do. I never pause to try to figure it out. No, when people get to speaking, I tune in. I get to immediately get to tuning into their frequency, trying to figure out, is there something that I'm going to download to be able to give to them? Is there something I have that I could give them to be able to help them to see what it is that they're saying in a new light? See, that's what we do. I don't want to change anybody. Like I tell you all the time, I'm not here to put something within you. I'm trying to awaken something within you. There's a difference. I'm not your regular person. I'm a strategist. I'm trying to help you think differently, help you to realize that, no, like, okay, that's cool. That's the way you've been thinking. That's your belief system. Have you ever thought about it like this? And then we help you to see it differently. And when you can see things from a different angle, now you begin to see the multitude of angles. And once I can help you to expand your perspective, I can help you to see things more clearly. And once you can see things more clearly, now you can move forward and transform, because you can now renew your mind. You cannot renew your mind with the same old thoughts. You cannot renew your mind doing the same old things. The way we renew our mind is we stop conforming, we spend time with ourselves, become still, realize that who we are, that you are a powerful, creative, spiritual being. And when you realize that you're a powerful, creative, spiritual being, then you begin to integrate that your spiritual self with your thinking self. So you're taking this the non-physical entity, and you're integrating your non-physical self with your thinking self, which is also non-physical, and you integrate these two, and this alignment will propel you into seeing things for what they actually are, and stop falling for all of the propaganda, all of the feeling like you need approval, or you need to be accepted, or you need to fit in. See, all of these lies, all of these illusions, they're actually weakening you, and they're keeping you scattered. And so what I'm here is just trying to help you realize that, like, no, you can move in alignment. You can think really, and you can speak according to what it is that you think, and you can move like that. Stop Stop saying things that you don't believe in. Stop curtailing the things that you see something you think is wrong, say it. Or stop going around the people. If you can't be honest around the people that you're around, and don't go around those people. You can't be yourself where you go, and you can't like say how you really feel. Stop going those places. Stop depleting your energy. Stop allowing people to suck out who you are. No, be who the heck you are. Love yourself. Trust yourself. Be yourself. Be authentic. It's okay to be yourself. There's only when you can't expect everybody to like you. Everybody don't like even the best finest foods on this planet. Everybody don't like finest foods. Everybody don't like the most beautiful colors. Everybody don't like a sunrise. Everybody don't like a sunset. These are some of the most enjoyable things to me. I don't know what you enjoy, but the things that you enjoy, there's people that despise those things. And the things that you despise, there's people that enjoy those things. So stop trying to curtail who you are. No, accept who you are. Be who you are. And if you don't know who you are, spend some time with yourself to get to know who you are. Like, that's what divine alignment is really all about. It's about knowing yourself, trusting yourself so that you can love yourself, and then loving yourself enough so that you can be yourself, and be yourself so much that you can benefit others. Because when you start being yourself and you operate within your passions, your desires, and your talents, people will be blessed from that, because we're all created to serve others. But it's only when we start being ourselves that we can see ways that we can be ourselves in someone's life. And like I said, there are people that are born to be competitors. There are artists. There are people that are good at, like I said, using your words. People good with using their body. People using their hands. People, they all have so many very variety of skills. And I don't want to marginalize your purpose, because whatever it is, it's actually priceless. You are priceless, invaluable in every way, and the world needs you. That's why you're here. You're not created just for nothing. You're created with purpose. And that purpose, it's inside of you. And you just need to remember what it is. Take a look over your life and you can see it's in your passions, seeing your desires, and every time escaped from you and you realize that time didn't exist, and then 2 or 3 hours pass and you be like, man, what happened to the time? No, time didn't exist. You were in flow, you were in the zone. And these things help to guide you and help you to realize your purpose. And when you begin to step into this type of alignment, when you no longer spend your time trying to conform, trying to like force yourself into the box that they told you are your roles, what roles you should be playing, what you should be doing, what you should not be doing, or what people, if this don't do, people don't do this. If you believe this, then you don't do this. Man, stop with all that crap, bro. Like, it's just crap. Like, it's just, no, get to know you. First know who you are and be willing to stand up for who you are. And when there's habits that are self-destructive, or things that you see that you don't like, then find positive habits, to constructive habits that you want to implement in your life. Because we should be for embetterment. We should be for growth. We should be for light. We're not all for light. We're not all for growth. We're not all for embetterment. We should be. However, if you want to make your life better, if you want to walk in the light a little more, if you want to live a little more peace, you want to experience a little more joy, you want to transform your life daily, then it begins with aligning your thoughts and your words with intention, and doing it daily as a practice. Because we're all powerful beyond anything that words can explain, and because we're all powerful beyond anything that words can explain, then we're creating powerful things, and we're creating our realities, and we're experiencing things, and many of us are empowering, or reinforcing things that are destructive in our lives, or actually that we don't even want. But we get what we expect, we get what we create, we get what everything is determined from the time that you spend in the now. So the time right now, in this present moment, if you're here with me and you're saying, hey, what is he talking about? Look, this is what I'm talking about. You are a powerful, creative, spiritual being. Divine alignment is when you align your spiritual self with your mind, because all is mind. That spirit, that's your individual. When you take your individual self, which is here in this body, and you integrate it with the mind, the highest intentions of eternal mind, which you have a purpose in, and you integrate these things and you move with integrity. Now your thoughts and your words and your actions, they're all aligned. When you move with this integrity, authentically, not curtailing to try to fit in, not saying the thing that you're supposed to say, even though you don't think that you think it's going to hurt the feelings. Stop suppressing yourself due to these new norms that have you trying to walk on eggshells for all of the wrong things. No, be bold, be yourself, love others, love people so that you can handle them gently, so that you can handle them kindly, and allow them to believe whatever it is that they want to believe, because you can't force them to believe they want to believe. The only person whose thoughts and beliefs you control are yours. Focus on that. And if they believe something that you don't believe, tell them, hey man, that's interesting. You don't understand how they came up with the belief, and you care to know how they came up with it, ask them. But allow them to believe whatever they want to believe. I tell people sometimes, I be joking, but I'm serious. Like, if you're over the age of 24 years old and you decide that you want to marry the tree in your yard. Now, I ain't talking about some public tree. I ain't talking about some tree in somebody else's yard. But if you want to marry a tree in your yard, then I don't care. I think it's foolish. I don't see any benefit coming from it. But you will learn if that's beneficial for you or not. And that experience, you may be able to write a book, tell people about it, that experience, whatever. But like, learn to accept yourself and not worry about what other people think about you, and continually improve on who it is that you who it is that you were created to be, with the knowledge of your creator. See, many of us, the issue I think maybe become from the fact we don't realize that we're a creation. So if you don't realize the five premises that I teach normally, right? That you are a creator, therefore, I mean, you are creation, therefore you have a creator, therefore you have a purpose. Your purpose isn't self-serving. Therefore you were created to serve others. Sounds like I'm coming through really loud in the mic. Let's see if I can cut this down. All right, so it's like you're if and then so we're all created to serve others, right? Since we're all created to serve others, and we're all on creations who have a purpose, then finding out what that purpose is, I would think was important, right? And so I look at the Bible as a manual to life. And when I look at the Bible as a manual to life, I look at it simply like this. I'm not in a religious way. Nothing's wrong with being religious. I love religious people just as much as I love anybody else. I'm not dogmatic. I'm anti-dogmatic almost. But the Bible, the manual for life, which we're talking, when you look at the Bible as a manual for life, look at it like this, and you will get a clearer understanding. My personal, this will change anybody who's watching right now. This is going to change the way you see life. The Bible, first page. When you open up the Bible, you begin reading. In the beginning, God, and I think verse 26, 27, it says, created in the image and likeness of God. You are created in the image and likeness of God. Now, because the words have been changed, languages and stuff, you don't realize that the Old Testament is talking about the Elohim and the Els and all of these different names for God. So we're creating the image and likeness of God. Then you get to see the Old Testament. This is how God's act. These are the acts of God. And he sent some people to war. God loved the people. He was just and merciful, and had chosen people, but treated everybody the same. Like everybody was just like he wanted and so we see this is how the gods act. And then in the New Testament you see, all right, here's the example, one person actually living it out. So this is how gods act. You're creating the image and likeness of gods, and then this is how your life should look. You should move with purpose, intention, as a leader inside of who you were created to be. Know who you are and move with purpose, even if it kills you. And it kills many people. Moving purpose will kill you, because there's so many people that love the darkness, and they love the darkness more than the light. And when you begin to shine your light, they will put your light out. Look at Charlie Kirk. People love the darkness more than the light, bro. That's what happened. Man, don't you, when you get to shine in your light, the truth can get you killed. The truth, I've been telling the truth my whole life. And as a truth speaker, I ended up with zero friends by the time I was in my 30s. I got a little small circle, a few people, like Terrence, Cuz, you know what I'm saying? And my wife, you know what I'm saying? Like small circle. People who I know I could call on, who could call on me, you know what I'm saying? People who I show up for. Like they'll show up for me. They like a small circle, because people don't like the truth. And I didn't realize it when I was in elementary school and middle school, and even in high school, and even in my 20s. Like, people would always be like, you talk too much, you talk too much. And really, I share my observation. I do. And now I'm sharing my observation. I get paid to share my observation, get paid good money to share my observation. So I just didn't realize that was my purpose. But people don't like the truth. And so when you shine your light, when you tell the truth, when you're honest with who you are and honest about where it is that you're going, other people begin to see themselves. That's that mirror, that reflection, and it hurts. it hurts. See, the truth, when we're honest with ourselves, it hurts because we have this ego-driven, unrealistic mirror that we're looking in, and we're not looking in the truth of the mirror of who we are and seeing ourselves as divine. And when we see ourselves as divine, when we begin to see ourselves whole, perfect, and complete, we can be transformed. But if we don't know who we are, then we can't move like that. We can't move like Christ if you don't know who you are. Christ knew that he was the child of God. Do you know you're a son of God? Do you? I mean, like, I know, like, that'd be a hard question. Like, do you realize that you're created in the image and likeness of God? Like that's how I started this teaching. Like you go to the first page of the Bible, you're created in the image and likeness of God. Like, like that should be, and then we see how God's act, the whole Old Testament, and then show you in the New Testament. What does that look like? What does it look like to be a powerful, creative, spiritual being? That's why Christ said himself, you'll do greater things. But who's trying to do the greater things? I still ain't been to the church and they preach that. You know what I'm saying? But like, who's even trying to live up to the powerful, creative, spiritual being, realizing that they can tap in and do anything they can imagine and believe? Who's trying to achieve that in your life? If you're trying to achieve that in your life, you're in the right place. Make sure you follow me. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tap in. Make sure you tap in, like the live, man. Join the fan club. Do all that stuff so you can send the cool stickers. I got some really cool stickers. I'm really creative. I probably, by the time the year pass or a couple years pass, I probably have some even more cool stickers. I like it. I have I've created thousands of things in Canva. I love creating in Canva. I have so many different creating ways, and we're just creative beings. You are a creative being, and you're capable of doing so much. And because you're capable of doing so much, it's important that I tell you that do the thing that is in line with your purpose. Do the thing that's aligned with your talent. Do the thing that's aligned with who it is that you created to be. And those other things, make those hobbies. You know what I'm saying? Those other things, make those things that you learn about, just in case you find somebody that's doing it, so you can have a little bit of wisdom to share, a little bit of knowledge to share. You know what I'm saying? Don't But make the thing that you do your purpose. The thing that you do, like my purpose is to inspire people to seek out and align with their purpose in which they were created. And I do that in various ways, and I do it in everything I do. And I remember when I realized this, I prayed about this for years. And I looked into it and looked into it and waited for a true understanding of it. And I've known maybe for 5 or 6 years, but I was already working in my purpose way before I had a definition for it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, your purpose, you already do it. You already love it. You already see it. It's already a part of you. You just have to become it. Spend some time um, getting in tune with your intuitive self so that you can develop the clarity and the understanding. Remember, it's awareness, and then you define it, and then you align with it. You got to become aware with it first before you can begin to put it to words, to be able to put it into some type of understanding. But once you get that understanding of what it is, you can put it into words. You could then begin to align your life with it. But it's all a process, and we do these things and we get a little bit of better. Like me, I had to leave and go take a break, and now because 9 p.m. just wasn't work for me. I like to be in bed by 9 p.m. if possible. So having the 9 p.m. lives wasn't working. So I had to restructure, and I got to figure. I'm still figuring out, man. Social media. I was anti social media for so long. Like, even spending this like time on social media sometimes can seem like one of those things that I'm adjusting to see differently. And there's a lot of things. So wow, we think about how often we adjust to see things differently in our lives because we evolve, and we realize, man, like, and I accepted that belief, but I realized that belief was based upon dogma or implications. Like I talk when I talk to people about the Bible, and I talk about almost always am talking about the Bible. I don't tell y'all I'm talking about the Bible because don't really they be turned off, but I'm not being dogmatic, but because the Bible implicitly says whatever you want to say. You can make it implicitly say anything, and I call that dogma. If you try to figure out, oh no, I was reading and this is what it means. No, 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 that's what it means for you. Now, if it says something explicitly, that's different. You know what I'm saying? If it says, don't cut down the tree out of the forest and bring it in your house and put the silver and the gold, don't dress it up and anchor it down. If it says that, then it says that explicitly. But if it implies something, the implications is infinite. But know for yourself who you are, and know that if you're created in the image and likeness of God, know that as a son of God, that you have infinite potential within you to do so much, and you could do so much and end up not accomplishing the one thing that you went to this world to do. Don't let that be you. You can all the stuff is okay. Get whatever you want. Do have fun. But remember, you know what I'm saying, that when Solomon talked about this in Ecclesiastes, see Ecclesiastes chapter 5, he says, eat, drink, and be merry, but he says in chapter 12, at the very end of the book, he says at the end of all of it, man, he said everything was vain, everything was vanity, everything was worthless. He said the only thing, he said at the end of it, the whole conclusion of the matter is to fear God and to keep His commandments. And that's what I can say, that means, you know what I'm saying, you need to spend some time in prayer, get in tune with your higher self, because that's what God speaks to you. God speaks to us in our higher self. God speaks to us when we're still and quiet. If you're always caught up in distraction, always caught up in noise, always ripping and running, trying to caught up in the hustle and bustle of life, and you never take that time to be still and pray, tune in to the intentions of your creator, then you're likely going to miss it. And according to Jeremiah chapter 29, people love to talk about it, but they don't move like it. They don't move like God got an expected end for their life. If there's an expected end, I'm trying to make sure I'm in the expected place, the appointed place and time, wherever I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be there. And the only way I can align with that and be aligned with that is if I'm aware of that and if I'm moving with intention to make sure that I don't get off track. Because in this dark world, every distraction, all the noise, all of that is there so that you miss it. And don't miss it. I don't want you to miss it. I promise you, I want you to get it. Like if you go look at my pen video, I was talking to somebody like, man, I put those pen videos there in burp, and I be hoping people get it. Like, here, this is what I really want to do. I really want to just give you what you need. And the first video, that's what I do. Here, is you want to be successful, do this. Decide, stay consistent over time. I wonder what it says somewhere. I'm sure those two things are there. And then in the second video, I just tell you, like man, like there's so much value within you, so much that I want to help to awaken with you just by talking. If you spend 2 to 3 minutes listening to me, I promise you, I'll get you to think differently and get in and eradicate your false paradigms and help you see that almost everything that you believe is an illusion, and you could choose to create and believe anything you want. Think about it. 190 cultures, 190 countries with various cultures within every country. So there's thousands of different belief systems, people living a different way, eating things that you would never think to eat, but they enjoy. Like, believe things. You got to understand, belief is so powerful. That's what the Bible talks about, belief. And if you learn to believe in yourself, but you got to first know who you are. You got to understand that you're a son of God, whether you believe it or not. First page of the Bible, you're created in the image and likeness of God. Old Testament, this is the way God's act. New Testament, this is how you do it in your life. Love. Love yourself, love others. And when you love yourself and others, it'll be easy to love the God in you, which you come from and you're flowing back to. But this ain't something we work on daily. It ain't even something you can achieve. And like, if we could achieve it, then people would be achieving it and checking out and realizing their body is a prison, and breaking free and becoming the light being they are with the enlightenment. But we don't, with enlightenment, we still be here in the physical body, because there's still experiences, still that the purpose for this experience. But the purpose for this experience and the purpose for your life, that's divine. But the choices that you make, are they? Do you make choices based upon love, expansion, growth? Or do you make things based upon greed, fear, jealousy, embarrassment, scarcity? Like, stop letting those things control you and move in the light, move in the trust, move in the faith, move in the light, move in the belief, move in the understanding that you create the life that you want. And it's as easy as deciding that you want a life and becoming clear about it and then focusing on it, because you're creating it here and you're projecting it out here and you're experiencing it in your emotions and your feelings. But that's just the projection that you already created in the now, because in the now is the only time that you have a perceived free will. You don't have any perceived free will of any consequences. No, all that's determined by the choices you make now. What you're experiencing now in your life is the determination of the choices that you made in the past. So you can decide now to make better decisions today and create a better reality tomorrow and over the next several years. But if you continue to make the same choices today based upon the same belief system that you've been making decisions upon, and you never renew your mind to become new, to begin to think of things differently, then you only have yourself to blame, because you can change, you can see things in the new, accurate, proper light, or you continue to live the same life, doing the same things, being mediocre, comfortable with mediocrity, darkness, excellent light. You know what I'm saying? It's just simple. I don't care. Like, it's binary. It's simple. You know what I'm saying? You could be mad that you're mediocre if you want, but if you're really mad, you'll do something about it. I tell people all the time, bro, anything you willing to change in your life, anything that disrupts your life, if it bothers you that much, you do something about it. If you bothers you that much, do something about it. You don't like dirty dishes, clean them. You don't like the trash on the ground, pick it up. Stop complaining that people threw the trash down there. Pick it up. Put gloves in your car. Put on a pair of gloves or something. Do something about it. Stop complaining, man. You complain about everything. You do nothing about nothing. It's whack. It's mediocre. You know what I'm saying? Be great. Be excellent. Walk in the light. Do things for purpose. Do things for others. Serve. Serve and serve and serve until you find something that you love serving to do. Do it. Do it, but be you, be authentic, show up, be consistent and authentic. It ain't all. I mean, and when I say be consistent, I'm like, I know you ain't nobody 100. You ain't gonna be 100% about nothing. You know what I'm saying? This is 2025. There's a lot more noise, a lot more distractions, but you can become better. You could do 99.9 for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just want to move. We want to move smoothly. I want you to achieve everything it is that you can, but I want you to move forward with intention. I want you to have peace. I want you to have joy. I want you to love yourself. I want you to learn to love others, so that the love of God can fill up your reservoir, and that you move with the clarity and understanding that is available to you when you see yourself as a powerful, creative, spiritual being, flowing in love, as pure love, remembering that you have a purpose, remembering that you're powerful, and doing it daily with intention, because this journey is as beautiful as you see it as, but your perspective, your perception, and your concepts and your beliefs, they're yours. They're your individual concepts and beliefs. You can't force your concepts and beliefs on other people. Stop trying to do that. Concepts and beliefs are yours individually. You need to get in tune with who you are, get in tune with your divine self, trust yourself, love yourself so that you can love others. It's so vital. It's so vital. Listen to me. Spend some time with yourself, being still, being quiet, allowing your intuition, allowing your inner self, your higher self to communicate with you, the perceived you here, and create that coherence so that you can move with divine purpose. See, there's a coherence. You got to get the spirit, the divine you here, and the mind, the higher you that's attached to the eternal mind, the coherence. Move forward, but it begins with being still and getting to know yourself and trusting your intuition, trusting your guidance. Don't trust the choices you made. Don't trust the decisions you made yesterday, decisions you made last year. Don't trust none any of that. Trust your intuition in the now and begin to make decisions based upon your intuitive guidance. Stop trying to hold on to everything that you've once thought. Become new, be you in the now continuously. Live authentically, be real, be divine, be aligned. And make sure y'all check me out at 12 o'clock every day, every time. See you on the next one. Peace.